Stop me if you've heard this one before. iCIMS has a new CEO.
And a new logo. And a new color scheme.
Yeah,
and oh, my God.
We'll get to that.
Oh, giggity.
Hide your kids. Lock the doors. You're listening to HR's most dangerous podcast. Chad Sowash and Joel Cheeseman are here to punch the recruiting industry right where it hurts. Complete with breaking news, brash opinion, and loads of snark. Buckle up, boys and girls. It's time for the Chad and Cheese Podcast.
Oh, yeah. I like girls that wear Abercrombie and Fitch. What's up, boys and girls? You are listening to the Chad and Cheese Podcast. I'm your co-host, Joel Project Freedom Cheeseman.
This is Chad. Just pay a fucking living wage, Sowash.
And I'm JT. Maple is the new Pumpkin O'Donnell.
And on this episode of HR's Most Dangerous Podcast, iCIMS shuffles, Phenom splurges, and Who'd You Rather is back, baby. You're welcome,
Yes.
Adam. Let's do this.
Done. I think we'll cover speed and hiring.
Did somebody say speed? Then buckle up, boys. You're about to learn how to hire fast.
Who is that?
Vetty Betty from Vetty, the hiring acceleration platform. Come on, man. Keep up. What's up, Betty?
Hey, Chad. Vetty makes high compliance hiring easy. Background checks, licensing verifications, and health screenings, all in one place. Real-time updates, no red tape, and no delays. Hiring managers can move fast, stay smooth, and close the deal.
So they just sit back and watch. Hell, I could watch this all day.
That's right. Relax, enjoy the view, and don't lose the hire. It's that simple. With Vetty, it's all taken care of before they can even catch their breath.
Best lesson ever.
Class dismissed, boys. Vetty. Hiring as it should be. Visit vetty.co to learn more.
I missed Who'd You Rather.
Happy
Yeah,
birthday
100%.
to you. The problem
It's
is
a
there aren't as
birthday.
many startups like there used to.
Happy
There used to be tons of startups we could do.
birthday
Who'd you
to
rather?
you.
But yes, JT, as we recording, celebrating her 29th birthday. Happy birthday, JT.
She's not that
For the
old. Stop
29th
it.
time.
You stop it. She's not that old.
Yeah.
Doesn't look a day over it, that's for sure.
Nope.
Oh,
that's
you
for
guys
damn
are
sure.
so sweet. Thank you. Yeah, it feels good to be here, to be alive. It's all
And
good.
as we found out in the green room, you're putting together furniture for your birthday.
Yes, I am.
What a party that's going to be. Amazon, not even Wayfair. She's going Amazon furniture. This
Amazon is my friend. When you live in the middle of nowhere and they'll actually, bring it to your door, then Amazon is your friend. So yes, I bought 8 bar stools, outdoor bar stools for the deck to go with the
Very
bar.
nice.
8.
Nice.
That's a
I will
lot of
send you a
drinking.
picture.
That's a deck right there. I like
Yeah.
that. Ooh, yeah.
Little white wine. Little white wine.
White wine.
Gonna have a white wine.
Not a white guy, but yeah.
So Chad's in his new home back in Portugal, recording
Yes.
from a bar. If you're not watching
From a
on
bar.
YouTube, which you should be, so the noises you hear will be the bar sounds of Portuguese Chad's drinking hole, I guess.
Yeah.
Hydrating. He's
There we go.
hydrating with a Guinness.
I
So
am
that's always
hydrating.
good.
I am
Yeah,
hydrating.
Good
I
for
need
you.
to hydrate. Yeah, I think this is going to be my new setup, to be quite frank. I mean, you can't beat this. Alex and Stefan are over there, and all I have to do is they hook me up. Really good friends of mine, play paddle with them. This is a great little setup, man.
Is this going to be the World Cup headquarters? Is this where you're going to set up shop?
This is definitely World Cup headquarters. No question. And it's coming. But the question is, in the U.S., are they going to have any crowds? We saw with only 6 weeks to go before the start of the World Cup, hotels at most of the cities hosting the tournament are facing a major problem. Bookings are running far below what they had expected for some metro areas, such as, I don't know, sexy Kansas City. Bookings are running even below the typical June and July.
Yeah.
Below. But how did you get fucking below? You've got one of the biggest events in the world, and you're running below.
Kansas City is quite the hotspot for summer travel, Chad. So it's a little surprising. I don't know. I mean, part of it is like the world hates us. Ticket prices are $5,000 for like nosebleed seats.
Yeah,
which is ridiculous.
I got to go to Kansas City for this. Really, is that what it's come to?
Well,
unless it's like a bit like England or Italy or like some of the. I don't know. I don't know the breakdown of all the cities. I think England's in Dallas. I think is Argentina in Miami or some big. If you're a big team in a good city, like I think you'll be fine. Cities.
But Atlanta's fine. Miami's fine.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, but still,
LA should be fine.
But still, they're below the typical.
My issue right now is like the cost of experiences in general. We were talking about it on one of the last shows. Concerts, events, they're ridiculous. They're out of control, and I'm just not going to pay it anymore. I will make my own fun. I'll put together furniture and make my own fun. A little white wine, but it's just crazy that they, that kind of ticket for nosebleed, really? Well, I don't need that experience that much.
And the tickets are crazy expensive. And you saw the outrage from Europeans who were like, what the fuck am I paying for a ticket? It's like, 10 times that they might actually pay here in Europe. I'll just wait till the next World Cup, which is going to be happening in Spain, Portugal, and Morocco. I mean, that's what a lot of people are actually doing. So it's, it's unfortunate, man. That sucks because this is a great opportunity for America to fucking shine.
It is.
But
No doubt.
But guess what?
Wrong administration. Wrong time.
Way wrong.
The good news is the Iran war is over for the third time, I think. So there'll be plenty of jet fuel to get everybody back and forth.
I almost spit my fucking Guinness out on that one. Jesus Christ.
The Hormuz is open for business again.
Geez.
That's right.
God
baby. That's
damn.
Well, here in Indiana, speaking of, we got the Indy 500 coming before
which you're going to.
The footy. I'm taking the whole family. Because the family that Indy 500's together stays together and usually has a few fights in between that. But yeah, we are. I enjoy it. You've been. I assume you've been. I think it's one of those bucket lists. If you like sports, it's just one of those things. Kentucky Derby, Indy 500, Super Bowl. Like if you can mark it off your list, you should do it. It's a good time. It's a good time.
I agree. Hearing the engines just themselves, and I mean, and there's a different. There's a different tone to like an F1 engine and like an IndyCar engine. But it is so amazing to watch it. And I mean, I'm more of a road course guy because I grew up right next to Mid-Ohio. Awesome road course. So I love road courses, but still just the speed of the Indy 500 is so awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's a slice of Americana that is unique.
Indiana is definitely a slice of Americana.
Yeah, and
like Kansas City.
Speaking of uniqueness, let's get to some shout outs. JT, it's your birthday. You start us off.
Over 80% of you watching right now, you watch over and over. We know you do, but you haven't liked and you haven't subscribed. Let's do that. Let's do that now. It's your birthday.
I know. I'm going to educate. It's a little education. I am giving a shout out to Thought Leader Ads on LinkedIn. I'm not sponsored in any way, but I got to tell you. So came across them. They are ads where you need to sponsor a Thought Leader video. So you go find a content creator on LinkedIn who's talking about what you care about. And you can put money behind it on a cost per click basis, right? So they're clicking through and you can link to a link. So it's very similar to the advertising people are doing on TikTok and Instagram. And if you know how to budget and manage your CPC, it can be really effective. But for years, everybody laughed. You could only advertise on LinkedIn if you had big buckets of cash. Right? It was big entrepreneurs. Game changer, folks. I ran a test over the last week. I'm happy to show my screen. $196, a 10.5% click-through rate, average cost per click, 51 cents.
Wow, that's great click-through. And also 51
LinkedIn.
cents. I mean, come the fuck on. Yeah, on LinkedIn. That's good.
Changes the game for a lot of people in terms of getting new leads, getting engagement to your site. I think this is going to be huge. And nobody knows about it. Literally nobody knows about it. So I probably just effed myself because I've got such great click-through rates and everyone's going to start doing it. But those are pretty impressive numbers. I've not seen numbers like that on Instant.
Is this in pilot phase or what?
How many influencers are there in the marketplace?
Well, they've the way the influencer works is that you literally can just request somebody and say, hey, I'd like to sponsor a video that you did. Okay. So you can find anybody request. If they accept the request, then you negotiate with them what you want to charge for them to be able to put ad spend behind you.
Interesting.
Right? So
and very, what they say as well.
Yes. So you could say, hey, we want you to create a video and then we'll sponsor it. Or you can find a video somebody's already done and said, hey, I want to put money behind that. And then you would negotiate a deal with them and say, sure, pay me this. And then they can put whatever ad spend behind it. But those are crazy click-through rates and costs. That's unheard of.
That's pretty awesome.
And so, it's good great to see them doing it. And I'm happy that they finally caught up with the times and they're doing what the other platforms do because there's a lot of us that want to advertise on LinkedIn.
All they needed was Dan Shapiro's the CEO. That's all they needed.
There you go. There you go. Thank you.
Just remember the first banner ads had like 89% click-through rates. So,
Well, that's good.
It does fade. It does fade after.
I'll take this. I'll take this next one. This next one. Shout out to paying Americans a living wage. Maybe if companies paid a living wage, Americans would actually buy tickets to the World Cup. But that money is not going into workers' pockets. Go ahead and roll that beautiful bean footage, Cheeseman.
Here we go.
Every time workers stand up and fight, the media and the rich want to call it class war. We're claiming class war. Well, class war has been going on for our entire lives. The rich keep taking more and more, and workers are pinched more and more. When they drive a race to the bottom, they pay poverty wages, they exploit the environment, they do everything they can, and it's so the few at the top can take all the profits. We're at a point now, even in UAW, the top 25 companies we represent, $563 billion in profit in the last 10 years.
Fuck.
They paid out 94% of that, or $530 billion in dividends and buyback.
Yeah.
Dude. And then a new Oxfam report found CEO pay rose 20 times faster than worker pay in 2025. 20 times fucking faster. The study said worker income lost value due to inflation, while billionaires and top executives saw record wealth gains. How about you just pay a living wage and settle for one super yacht, huh? Is that too much to ask? So shout out to, paying a living wage. Let's try that.
How many yachts can you jet ski behind? Right.
Just saying. That being said, can I get another Guinness?
Well, Chad, you're gonna get political on me, and
that wasn't political
and economical. Oh yeah, the head of the union is not political. The Trump administration has been tough for a lot of people, Chad. Immigrants, Minnesotans, Jimmy Kimmel. Perhaps no one has suffered more than me. Okay.
Okay.
At least until my man King Charles showed up last week and buttered up our boy Donald Trump and made sure that Scotch.
Welcome to All Things Scottish. Our slogan is, if it's no Scottish, it's crap!
The drink of the gods, the water of life is now tariff-free, Chad. It's now much cheaper than it used to be, which means I can get that liver transplant that I've been needing for so long. So my shout-out goes to King Charles. Thank you, Britain. Thank you, Britain. Now pass the Ardbeg.
He was eloquent, smart. I don't think Trump understood half of the shit that he was actually talking about, which is good, and I think was also engineered.
I did like his joke about like Americans will tell Brits, "Hey, if it wasn't for us, you'd be speaking German," and he turned it around like, "Dare I say, if not for us, you'd be speaking French." So that was kind of a cute little spin. Very, very intellectual comedy for the House.
Well, I thought this was interesting. Julie actually said this week is that if Portugal would have funded Christopher Columbus again, we'd be speaking Portuguese. Because they didn't go for the funding the next time because, Christopher Columbus took him for a ride a few times. Anyway.
What better way to follow a Scotch shout out than our favorite Scot?
Guinness.
Really back.
Stephen
Thank you.
McGrath.
Thank you. Oh, look at that.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Stephen McGrath. And I'm here to tell you all about how you can grab some free stuff from chadcheese.com. Now, you might be wondering why I'm sitting here topless. And the answer is really simple.
Every week.
Because I've not grabbed my free t-shirt from Erin app at chadcheese.com yet. Let me fix that. Right, that's better.
That's sexy right there.
So I'm sporting a slightly vintage model here, but of course there are new and updated designs every year. And those are super soft, breathable, and some might even say huggable.
I would.
Now, what else can you get? Of course, you can get some craft beer. It's not just any regular rubbish beer. That's craft beer brought to you by the data geeks at Aspen Tech Labs. And if you're not into beer too much, then...
What?
Oh, 2 seconds. I'm just going to get that. Then you can always go for chicken cock, baby. That's right. Not one, but 2 bottles of chicken cock from the lovely people at Proven Base. Now, you're not going to get any of this stuff unless you go to chadcheese.com/free and get yours today.
I love chicken cock. I do. I love it.
And this provided by Stephen
More
McGrath.
Scots, yes.
That's right. Look at that.
Who'd you rather? King Charles, all kinds of British stuff going on. By the way, Chad, I just I messaged our boy Tyler at Chicken Cock.
Yeah.
We'll have some new supply soon. That's all I'm going to say about that. Going to see where I can get the best stuff.
And since we're sending Chicken Cock and it travels, our travel is sponsored by
events. Where are we going, boys?
Our travel sponsored by our friends over at Shaker Recruitment Marketing. The question is all this AI stuff getting you frustrated? No worries. Just jump it over to shaker.com and allow their experts to help you identify what fits your hiring needs. That's shaker.com. Yeah, next week, Julie and I are actually going to London on May 14th. We're going to be at Job Board Connect Unplugged. It means I've got to yell, I guess.
Unplugged.
I don't know.
Bring your acoustic guitar.
I'll be on stage with a friend of the show, Alexander Tchaikovsky.
Nice.
That's right. Yeah.
Nice.
We're going to be talking about, go figure, AI, product, market shift, revenue generation, all that fun stuff. Again, that's May 14th in London, up by Regent's Park, which is a really cool place to be. Go ahead and get your tickets at jobboardconnect.com. And then the week after that, I'm doing 2 online events. Apparently those are still a thing. For Fusion HR on May 20th. It's a debate. Number 1, AI interviewing with Barb Hyman. We know her, CEO of Sapia, versus Mika Schieper, founder of Lecture. And then on May 21st, it's debate number 2, a skills-based hiring with Maya Huber, the CEO and founder over at Tadio, know her too, versus Feng Vu, CEO of Telexa AI. So if you want to join the debates, discussions, just go to hrweek.global. And you can always find all this information at chadcheese.com/events. Who am I kidding? You know where to go.
The mothership, chadcheese.com. By the way, shout out to the Shaker folks for hosting us while we were in Chicago with Italian beefs and Chicago dogs. What's better than that?
What did you get, though? What did you get? Did you get a beef and dog?
Yeah. So I got a Chicago dog, skip the fries because, I care about my figure. So just got the dog and the beef dipped with hot peppers.
I got a dog with Italian beef on top of it, wet. It was fucking amazing. And I got fries. So yeah, I had to do a little bit more running this week.
Dog with beef. It wasn't a Chicago dog. It was just the hot dog with the beef on it.
It was like a brat with beef on top of it. It was amazing. And I took the first bite and I'm like, what the hell's going on here? You know what it was? It's called heaven. That's what you call it. Yeah. Thanks, Joe.
Remember when you were a vegetarian? That seems so long ago.
I was vegan.
Vegan. Sorry. I get those two mixed up.
Secondarily, that's a diet. So I can go off my diet whenever I want to. Oh. Okay. I can go back on. I can go off. Just like my Guinness diet.
Well, let's go off on some topics, shall we?
Topics!
That's so good.
Stop me if you've heard this one before. iCIMS has a new CEO.
and a new logo and a new color scheme.
Yeah,
oh my God.
We'll get to that. Mark Thompson, which sounds kind of made up, has been named CEO of iCIMS, succeeding Jason Edelboim. Thompson previously served as the company's chief financial officer, starting back in September of 24. Prior to iCIMS, he served as, you guessed it, CFO at Ever Commerce. Chad, Mark Thompson is in the house. Big deal, little deal, or no deal?
Yeah, no, this is a big deal. I'm going to get more emotional and technical on this one. Okay, I'm going to get a little technical on this one. So, Colin Day, we both know Colin.
We do.
He's the founder and CEO of iCIMS for like 2 decades. We knew the team there. They became partners. They became friends. We got deep into the organization. Yeah, and who doesn't give us Yetis? Come on, give me a break. Anyway,
they were the first.
Colin left. Then Steve Lucas took over. He was present. He was charismatic. He made some moves, and then about 2.5 years, he was gone. Brian Provost stepped into the role, and shortly after, pretty much threw his hands up and said, "Fuck this, I'm going home." Now the last guy, Jason Edelboim, and I'm not even sure that I'm saying that right.
I think Edelboim.
Because I've never met the guy before. I've never talked to the guy. I don't know that I've even ever seen him speak.
He did not accept my LinkedIn request, Chad. Just so you know, he did not.
It felt like he was asleep at the wheel, for God's sakes. And just this week, it was funny. I was talking to some people about this, and I called him Josh. Because he was never around. I didn't meet him. I didn't know him. And again, it's like he was asleep at the wheel. And now we have this CEO, Mark Thompson, who is a bean counter. And here's the thing. iCIMS is trying to get acquired. Okay. While companies like Paradox hire industry veterans like Adam Godson, and Paradox was acquired by who? Workday. Yeah. Smart Recruiters puts industry veteran Rebecca Carr in the CEO position, and they were acquired by who? SAP. Yeah, SAP. Hell, even LinkedIn, who isn't trying to get fucking acquired, for God's sakes, hired an industry veteran in Dan Shapiro as their CEO. Vista Equity Partners and TA Associates, they're not reading the fucking room, or stick with me, they're going to play the Apollo career builder move and start selling off parts of iCIMS. If that's the case, then so be it. But if they're still trying to sell iCIMS off, this was not their move. I think this is plain stupid. And to be quite frank, I'm just going to sit here and drink my beer because I'm going to get all misty eyed.
JT's got something to say.
Yeah. I mean, the moment you said a CFO took over, it's on the chopping block. It's all about the numbers at this point. It's all about getting something across the finish line deal wise, right? And so it does. And I've been listening to you for years, and you've talked about iCIMS, your relationship with them. I learned about what they were doing, how they were putting a tech stack together, the acquisitions they were doing. I learned so much from all of you through that journey, and you were always hopeful that they were really going to put something cool together. You do. Like, you loved where the thinking was. And then to see a company like that end up to where it is now, it's disheartening. It's too bad, but it's reality too. This is where we're at. At some point, we've said this multiple times this year alone, that at some point you have to recognize we can't keep putting money towards this anymore. Cut, fix, start over, become Allbirds, change to become an AI something.
Repaint.
But, and so I think something like that's coming down the pike for sure when you put the CFO.
Are they going to become a shoe company? Are they they got a new brand? They got new colors. Are they going to become a shoe company?
iCIMS could be anything. There's no iCIMS shoes. Sure. I don't know.
There's also.
Oh God.
This is the end. Historically speaking, what has unfolded at this company is we're in the last inning of the business. 4 CEOs, 2 rebrands, a missed IPO opportunity, a failed attempt to acquire Smart Recruiters.
Smart Recruiters, yep.
So just the business alone is in trouble. That's internally, it's a mess. Externally, it's bad too. The ATS business is it's too crowded. It's too disparate. Like we're gonna see consolidation. Ultimately, iCIMS and Employ, and like we're gonna eventually have, I'm gonna call 5 to 10 ATSs, like enterprise, somewhere in the middle. But like this is an attempt to say, okay, CFO, sharpen your pencil, get us down to full as profitable as you can, and then sell it to whoever. We don't even give a shit, but like make it as like affordable for somebody as possible, and sell this stuff. So if you're currently an employee at iCIMS, I'd be refreshing that resume. I would be updating that LinkedIn profile. I'd be outreaching to people I know in the industry, because this is not this is not bode well. Look, Mark Thompson, probably a nice guy.
Yeah.
He graduated from Dartmouth in the 80s with an economics degree. Okay. The CEOs at Ashby and Team Taylor graduated in this century. So like, there's just, this is not reek of innovation. This is not reek of like, we're going to do the full court press. We're going to bring in people who know what they're doing. And then we're going to make a big push to go all tech and everything AI. No, this is sharpen the pencils, get us down to as profitable as possible, and turn off the lights. Unfortunately, Chad and I have a long relationship with iCIMS. Has nothing to do with the people there, but the clock is running out on iCIMS.
Well, the new paint job, just again, we talked about this before. It's like a distraction. It's like, show something innovative. That's all we want to see, right? And we keep hearing from people inside, oh, we've got innovation. Well, then fucking show us, right? I mean, if you have a narrative, if you have a CEO that can actually be articulate enough to talk about what tomorrow looks like for you guys, okay, great, put them out there. But you're gonna fucking hire a bean counter now? I mean, Steve Lucas was the perfect guy for that kind of stuff, right? Marketing, understood it, Marketo, storyteller. Now you got a bean counter from Dartmouth. Okay, sure. Let's see how that goes.
Nothing against Dartmouth, or the 80s, or the 80s for that matter. Yeah. But yeah, this is not good for iCIMS, everybody. And if you're a customer of iCIMS, you might want to go put out some RFPs, get some demos. We'll be right back.
Hello, I'm Omar, founder and CEO of JobPixel. I'm going to talk about two things. Number one is JobPixel. We do short form video content. So if you're a recruitment marketing or employer branding leader, you have to do video content, collect content from your employees. You're going to be able to show impact that you've never seen before. Number two, I would love to talk about People Brain Collective. People Brain Collective is a new organization that just got started by some of the best minds in our industry. And it brings all recruitment marketing and employer branding leaders together in one place to have a conversation about the impact of their work. I promise you, it's something you do not want to miss. So after this video, you'll see a QR code. Scan that QR code with your phone, go to their website and sign up for a membership. You will not regret it. They have amazing people talking about the best topics you'll absolutely love. Thank you, and I can't wait to see you there.
Chad, I've been waiting a long time to do this.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Really? Can you feel the tension in the air right now?
Oh, yeah, I do.
I know I can.
I can
feel it all the way down in my plums.
Yes, Plum is back in the news, everybody. They've been acquired by our friends at Phenom, provider of talent assessments. If you missed the memo, they help enterprise-level firms scale behavioral assessments. This acquisition follows Phenom's previous acquisitions of Included AI and Be Applied. Chad, your take on the purchase.
Okay, so we saw Phenom's Be Applied acquisition a few weeks ago, and now it's Plum. So great for Phenom, great for Be Applied, and great for our friends over at Plum. But it really feels like Phenom is trying their hardest to PhD the hell out of a problem when all the companies need is a middle school solution at this point.
Mm-hmm.
It feels over-engineered and way too much for the actual needs of hiring companies out there. And I mean, over the last 6 months or so, we've personally attended 7 practitioner-led events where there were probably about 500 different TA product leaders, buyers that are out there. And they needed simple solutions, small solutions that made big impacts. For example, some of the hiring companies showing most of the success is merely around the automation of interview scheduling. No rocket science there, just pure, simple, easy to understand. And most of all, everybody fucking hates interview scheduling. So these 2 acquisitions feel like Phenom isn't even in the same room with these TA leaders and understanding what their needs are. It's cool. They're acquiring companies. I love that. But the combination of these 2 and just weeks apart, I don't know, man. It either feels like it just doesn't compute or their marketing and messaging are just shit. I don't know. I can't make.
You're not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe?
I have one plea to the marketing folks at Phenom. Assuming you're going to keep the Plum brand, please bring back rum with Plum. Just to hear that soundbite every week made my entire week. So please,
we can play it whenever we want.
JD at marketing at Phenom, just please. That's all I ask. All right, let's go to the deal now. In 2004, I met a company called iCIMS. iCIMS was behavioral testing and culture fit and all these sort of like psychobabble nonsense that you felt kind of dumb. You felt like the emperor has no clothes. Like you didn't want to say anything because you sounded stupid because you didn't understand all the science speak about it. iCIMS is gone. It's been gone for a long time. But since then, we've had other players come in and say like, hey, employer, we have a secret sauce. We'll give a little test, little behavioral stuff. Like we'll fit the perfect employees to your company. Remember Wonderlic when Wonderlic got in it? And Wonderlic was a big thing with like quarterback testing. You don't hear about Wonderlic anymore because just because a QB gets a shitty score, they're still a good QB. Like it didn't have a whole lot to do with who you are. Tradeify acquired by Paradox. Why didn't Workday want Tradeify as part of the deal? I don't know. It's kind of weird, but I'm kind of out on the whole behavioral Wizard of Oz behind the curtain. We got a secret recipe that no one else has.
PhD.
Plum had great branding. They had a great team.
Yeah.
I mean, they raised a pretty modest amount, I think around $15 million.
Smart.
Cute little Canadian company, sponsored our show, sent Chad and I think 8 gallons of maple syrup one time.
It was delicious.
It was a great little story. And it just never has taken off. And the company never really grew a whole lot. This feels like the clock just ran out. And I think to your point in Phenom is in that pre-chat GPT that didn't get acquired by Workday group. And I think their strategy now is like, let's go to TJ Maxx. Let's get as much like AI, science, PhDs, whatever as we can into the portfolio and hope that we survive the future. They have a great portfolio of companies that use them, great event, great brand. Like, can they survive it? And will this be the strategy that gets them there? I just don't really know. I'm kind of out on the whole behavioral tests, psychobabble, PhD bullshit that I've been fucking forced to consume for the last 25 years in this industry.
Oh, can I jump in
Tell
on
us
that?
how you really
can
feel.
I jump in that?
Dumbass.
Please.
2 things. First of all, anytime we see an organization get acquired, I'm hoping everybody made some money. So congratulations to anybody over at Plum. I mean, that's a big deal, right? It's hard to get across the finish line.
Money!
Yeah. Get it. Piggybacking off what Joel said, I'm not a fan of the behavioral tests either. And I'll tell a true story. Was working for a well-known Fortune 500 company. And they had me analyzing what was going on in their recruiting. And I came across these tests that they had signed a deal with one of these psychobabble places. And they were making everyone do the test. And I said, why are you making all your candidates go through this test? Well, that's who we picked to hire. I said, okay, really quick, pull out your ATS system for me. what percentage of people that went through the test did you actually hire that got the passing grade? Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And what percentage who failed the test got hired anyways, right? 90% of the time, they were still picking the candidate that failed. Let me say that again. So they paid for a test, 90%. They paid for the test. The manager said, the guy or gal I liked didn't pass, but I liked them. So I'm hiring them anyways. That was a waste of a test. Hundreds of thousands of dollars a year were being spent on these tests that the management wasn't even using. If they didn't like the answer, they use anyways.
Notice this? I feel like I'm taking crazy pills.
It's crazy pills.
It's crazy, right? And then they said, well, maybe we should mandate that they just have to pick the person that passed. Well, you know how that went down, right? No, you can't do that to managers. So I'm on the Joel train. I can't believe it, Joel. You and I are syncing up way too much. Something's happening,
baby.
But,
don't ever say the Joel train again, please. That's just the mental.
All aboard! Here we go. By the way, the whole FICRA issue, these guys are in the crosshairs, or they should be too. I mean, if you're employing someone based on an assessment behavioral test,
no question.
Okay, well, what did you test for? What is this test that made me incompatible with this company?
I think first and foremost, Plum, they give you their score, right? So it's all transparent. You get the score. The big difference is, how does that actually match up between what you've scored and what the company wants? That's going to be the big difference, right? Yeah. But yeah, I agree. There's going to be transparency pieces, especially for these really complex PhD psychobabble kind of things that happen that are they're going to be hard to connect. They really are.
Sounds like we're all a sell on this acquisition.
So you get nothing. You lose.
Maybe the second acquisition will fare a little better, guys. Greenhouse is acquiring Ezra AI Labs. A voice AI interviewing startup hoping to enhance its hiring platform with conversational AI capabilities. The combined offering will integrate Ezra's voice interviewing system with Greenhouse's broader hiring platform, which includes sourcing, applicant tracking, and AI-powered talent matching. Chad, what's your take on this deal?
Good for Greenhouse, who desperately needed something AI to make them look fashionable again. I mean, really. One thing I love in the high volume space is that you need an interview, but you can bypass scheduling altogether in the application process. If the candidate meets all the requirements that you provided, you have two options: schedule an interview, one button maybe, and interview now, another button, an immediate interview. So interview now. And when speed is the factor, that literally just sprays nitrous directly into the intake manifold. Plus, when you're interviewing with AI, you're gathering and contextualizing all that data, not just the notes a recruiter or hiring manager can feverishly jot down. So those contextualized notes are attached to the candidate's profile, and you have more data on all of your candidates. It just makes sense. So I like what they're doing. Will this move the needle for Greenhouse against a Workday or an SAP? No. Will this be nice for their current clients? Yeah, it will. It'll be good for their current clients.
60% of the time, it works every time.
I gotta say, I'm with you on the AI piece. Everybody needs to be looking at AI and ways to either create it themselves or purchase. So this clearly looked like, hey, it's easier to buy than build ourselves.
Yeah.
What's interesting to me, though, about all these acquisitions, I want a year from now see if they really provided an ROI. And here's why.
I agree.
I know a recruiter right now. She came to me and said, I just built this thing all by myself with Claude Cowork, where I just sit and give all my notes on every candidate that I've met with. And it's able to automatically match against the job I'm hiring for and then rank who should be presented to the hiring manager. She said, I built it all by myself. It's working like a charm. My clients are loving it. She's an independent recruiter, built it by herself in Claude. Is she the only one out there? Of course not. Everyone is getting so much more sophisticated with AI as they learn how to use it, that I just feel like these companies, they're overpaying. It's very likely they're overpaying, and that we're going to hear a lot of these stories later on, like, that. But the race to have it, like you said, to look updated, sexy, current, like tell our clients we're on top of it, is a thing. The question is, are a lot of these companies overpaying for that? I'm going to say that they probably are.
I'm going to applaud this acquisition. Greenhouse is an ATS. We just got done talking about iCIMS, like the clock running out on them. iCIMS or Greenhouse is in that middle zone of we're not iCIMS or JobBite, but we're not quite Ashby or like the new. So we got to do some shit to like roll the dice, take some risks, and see where this thing goes. And I think when you talk to a lot of people in this space, where the puck is going, it's in this AI interview chat, sounds human, but it's all automated thing. Yeah. And we saw some of those companies this past week in Chicago. Ezra was founded in 2024.
Wow.
That's a turn, baby. That's a turn.
That's a turn.
So, by the way, better than Ezra, band from the 90s. I keep thinking that when I say Ezra.
That. Yeah, that's good shit, yeah.
He's a young guy, PhD in applied math, Stanford MBA, GM, had prior general or GM engineering roles. We don't know much about these guys. Like, so Greenhouse is either like going to the tree and picking the apple before anyone kind of knows what the hell's going on. They have fewer than 10 employees. They raised a meager 3.2 million or so. So they took a small bet financially for like a really big home run if this thing works out and these guys have, product that can really crush it. So I love this. This is a brand new company. Greenhouse just said, fuck it. Let's roll the dice. I don't know. What did they pay for like 20 million, maybe 40 million?
I mean, doubt that.
You think it's less than that?
I doubt that. Especially
if that's the case, Ezra sold too soon. Then shame on Ezra because they could have, I think, sold a lot.
Possibly, but I don't think so because of what JT said. Because what JT said, when you get a chance to actually get a bite at that apple, you might not get a second bite at that apple. So I think again, they didn't have that many individuals on staff. Didn't take a lot of money. So I mean, why not? Not to mention they more than likely are going to go work for Greenhouse to be able to like literally, it's kind of like a skunk works inside of these organizations right now. Paradox is running a skunk works to some extent inside of Workday. Same thing is happening inside of SAP. It still can be exciting with a bunch of fucking cash. So yeah, I think it's a good idea.
Groupon could have sold to Google for $6 billion at its height. They should have taken that deal. However, Mark Zuckerberg was offered $1 billion from Yahoo to buy Facebook. He declined, and it worked out for him. So we never know how it's going to roll out, Chad.
But that paranoid motherfucker has to actually
fortunately,
build
if you have a
bunker.
podcast, you can talk about this shit and be successful no matter what happens with what's going on.
At Shaker Recruitment Marketing, our comprehensive services include branding, talent attraction, MarTech, and analytics, empowering you to achieve your recruitment marketing goals. We believe in doing things the right way, delivering the right message through the right activation, achieving the right conversion. For us, business is deeply personal. Our legacy is built on relationships. Together with our people, clients, and partners, we've been shaping the world of talent for over 70 years.
All right, kids. LinkedIn's agentic AI hiring products, which streamline the recruitment process by automating tasks for recruiters, are projected to generate $450 million in sales in the coming year. The offering includes one for large businesses and one for small businesses. Chad, did LinkedIn finally get AI right on this one, or is it a banana in the tailpipe situation?
Okay.
You're not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe?
I feel like it's a banana in the tailpipe. So these agentic AI tools are supposed to perform the heavy lifting so recruiters don't have to, like scanning LinkedIn massive global databases, matching recruiter prompts to profiles, and shortlisting the right talent in seconds. Wait a minute. Wasn't that the promise of LinkedIn's search and match algorithm in LinkedIn Recruiter for the past, I don't know how many years. I mean, LinkedIn is basically just replacing Boolean strings with prompts.
Yeah.
Now, we're supposed to believe that these agents and great recruiter prompting, that LinkedIn can magically pull this off. Now, will they bring in tons of cash from gullible clients? You fucking bet they will. Will it change anything? I wouldn't bet on that. You're going to get more out of your core talent acquisition and talent management systems and your own databases and pulling in these candidates than you're going to get from LinkedIn. I think LinkedIn is a great tool and a great source, but when it comes to actually using this type of heavy lift, I don't think LinkedIn's the answer.
Well, Chad doesn't like it. How about you, JT?
Yeah, right. So full disclosure, I had early access to this tool last year, and I was also hired by them to do some videos around it so that recruiters knew it existed. So I want to make sure,
so
that
much
I'm not working
flexing.
with them now.
So much flexing.
No, but I want to be clear as I say this.
And I appreciate that. That is
right.
sweet.
No, I should be honest. Here's where I think it's different, Chad. And I think, 1.3 billion profiles and counting. That's a lot of profiles, many of which are bogus, outdated. No, it's growing and growing. And you've got a lot of fake, a lot of bots. You've got issues like any big company. So you need a more sophisticated tool to be able to sort that out. And one of the things that I like about the way this AI tool works is it's not just looking at whether or not somebody is a keyword match on their profile. It's looking if this person is active on the platform. And it's doing that because a lot of recruiters complain that the search results they were getting the old way, they would contact these people and they'd never respond. All right. So LinkedIn said, wait a minute, if I can figure out a way to evaluate beyond the matching and see if somebody is actually active, I can statistically improve the chances that when that recruiter contacts that person, they might get a response back. I like that because what it's allowed us to do on the job seeker side is teach candidates how to signal to recruiters, how to not just optimize their profile, but how to start to actively comment and post so that the algorithm is understanding their skill sets, the problems they solve, the pain they alleviate. And that's what this tool does. And I can tell you from the job side where I'm coaching, they are getting incredible results. I have candidates who aren't necessarily the best, but they are doing the right things in LinkedIn to be found with this tool. And so to me, I think it's very interesting. They're always a company that's very careful, very slow. They're not going to do anything crazy. And so this will continue to improve and get better. I like that there's a lower price point for the SMBs. I hope that that continues to come down because for many, it's still probably too expensive. But I have seen real results with it, make it easier. And I'll also tell you a funny story. I got trolled last week because a job seeker
trolled every week, don't you?
Yeah, no, this one was pretty bad. Job seeker asked me a question and Mike about it. And I commented back to him, hey, LinkedIn has a very special AI tool that recruiters are using now. And this is how they surface and find you. It's just kind of a very easy comment. Some guy on LinkedIn found the comment, screenshotted it, didn't tag me, went out there and said, recruiters, is this a thing? A very special AI tool? Everyone started making fun of me until recruiters who use the AI tool came to the thing and said, she's right. Here's the info. It's a thing. And then the very next day, they announced this $450 million in potential revenue. So I think a lot of people don't realize it's out there. Clearly, not a lot of people are using it yet. But when you use it and you start surfacing people, it offers an opportunity for someone to position themselves for what they want, not what they were. And that I love, because if you're only pulling off a profile, then you're only matching based on your past work history. What if you want to do something different? What if you can prove you want to do something different? The algorithm is now recognizing that in the feed and will get better and better. And to me, that creates opportunity for people. And so I'm here for that.
Who wants a chippy?
I guess I've got to break the tie here. So just so I'm clear, because I go to you for all my job seeker information, JT. So whereas before it was just what's on my profile, now you're saying it's what's my activities, what am I sharing, what are maybe my like it's taking a holistic view of what I'm doing on LinkedIn to match me.
It's making sure you're real. Yeah, it's making sure that you are a real human being.
All right. All right. So I think that we're learning more and more that the skills to be a recruiter are evolving from Boolean searches and how to look at search engines and find needles in the haystack to more of, can you be a human being and talk about an opportunity in the future and basically have these soft skills. So Chad is right when he says, look, the Boolean searches of yesterday are just the, hey, I need a PHP developer, blah, 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 and then having the machine do it. The difference is the skill set that used to be important was to have that Boolean search to get the person in the first place. Now the skill is evolving to, okay, the tech will find me the person. It's up to me now to connect with that person and sell them on the opportunity at the company. So from that perspective, I think what LinkedIn is doing is going where the puck is going and helping human beings connect to be more human and fill jobs that way. So I think that's a positive thing. I also think that from the SMB's perspective, and we highlighted a recent advertisement at LinkedIn where they're really focusing on small business. Where it's small business, it's the owner, she's hiring people. Like, this is a really nice product for a founder of a startup or a small company that has no idea what a Boolean search is or how to spell it, can simply tell LinkedIn, I need a developer to do this, that, and the other. And then the algorithm gives it to them, and then they can have a conversation with them on a human level. So I think if you're a small business, this is really magic for you to just go to LinkedIn and do this. So for those two reasons, I'm a fan of this. Where I'm intrigued is how they have monetized it. Somehow they found the whatever recipe to drive this thing to $450 million with little. I mean, so the old model of like, how many seats do you have is somehow evolving into time spent and what you're getting out of it. I also think it's a fun time to highlight like the moat that LinkedIn has been building this whole time and keeping out competitors and squashing all the other sourcing tools. This is kind of the payoff because unless you have this data, if you have the AI, it doesn't really matter. That's why when you look at some of these tools with ATSs are going to be like, we need a tool like that because we're going to help you use your own data. But LinkedIn is sitting here saying we have our own data as well. I think you're going to have to use both. And one of those things you have to pay for, as usual, will be LinkedIn. And that's a victory for them as they evolve in this AI world. So,
yeah, I think from a transactional standpoint, the SMB side of the house is tremendous and smart. And I mean, I think they have the opportunity literally to go deep into the SMB market because everybody knows who LinkedIn is, right? Sitting in rooms of TA, VPs of TA and whatnot, most of them feel like they're being held hostage by two companies, Indeed and LinkedIn. And the hardest part about that is a lot of those enterprise companies have bought a lot of the candidates that are already in the databases that are out there, and they're going to grind and they're going to do this themselves. So is this a short-term fix for LinkedIn? I don't know. I don't know the answer to that, but I do know there are a lot of major enterprise organizations that would love to say fuck LinkedIn and fuck Indeed and literally just create their own ecosystems. And that's what they're trying to do. So we'll see how it actually shapes out. But I think LinkedIn is incredibly smart going after SMBs because SMBs from a transactional standpoint can really push a lot of cash to them.
Okay, but I got to hit on that because I get that they bought that and they have all these people in their databases, but that content has a shelf life and it's aging fast. And what LinkedIn has is they've now created a way that is getting candidates to constantly update who they are and what they're about. So I hear you. These companies would love to say, forget you to Indeed and LinkedIn. We got our own thing, but you now then have to make sure that talent is updating itself. So you're getting the most current version of them. So community is getting huge, right? Community, chatbots, etc. But you're asking these candidates to recognize that's a company I want to work for, and I'm going to go keep myself updated over there versus they can do it one time over at LinkedIn and be found. And in a time where job boards are quickly shifting because the only reason you really need one anymore is if you need a lot of people for one type of job. I don't want to post a job where I only need one candidate if I'm going to get 1,000 people, a half of which are a bot. I'm not going to post a job on a job board anymore unless I'm legally required to, unless I'm taking money from the government like we've talked about. Instead, I'm going to get on LinkedIn and I'm going to quiet hire. I'm going to go find the people and reach out to them and say, I have an opportunity. And that is happening. I am seeing a massive uptick on that every single week.
Yeah.
People are going, oh my gosh, I'm being found by these great companies. They're legit. They're real. Why? Because we taught them how to post on LinkedIn. We taught them how to come. We taught them how to engage in a platform to get visible and signal, this is what I am. And that to me is huge. I don't think you can underestimate that.
If you're looking for a threat, to me, it's Indeed. Because you look at the fresh component, no one's fresh on Indeed. They post a resume and they're done. So to me, like LinkedIn will be this thing that, okay, I don't have to have as many seats. I'm still paying, maybe not as much, but I'm still paying them for that fresh data and those people that are always active. But instead of spending more on Indeed, I'm going to figure out how to use my own database to reinvigorate them, to connect with them, to like take more advantage of that. So as I look at this, Indeed, I think is the odd man out of this equation. I think LinkedIn's a winner. I think the ATS, whatever that component is at a company, is going to be a winner.
And let me just throw another crazy idea at you. Bring it all the way back to thought leader ads, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could, if let's say there's 20 companies I want to work for right now, I could set up a thought leader ad of myself to those 20 companies and job titles at those companies that I would want to be visible to. And I could push my videos out to them like, hey, this is how I would handle this problem. Like, think of the top 5 questions that hiring manager would ask me. Start putting my videos in their feed. $5 a day spend. I'm just pushing myself out. Think about the future of a candidate where maybe there's a service where you're able to choose who you want to get in front of for them to see you. I mean, a smart job seeker could do that now on thought leader ads at 50 cents a click, getting hyper specific. So there's so many ideas running through my head about where this could go in time.
Is the targeting that granular?
It's pretty granular. Location, you can go by job title. Again, by budget, is it as good as other places? But they could improve upon that. And if they did, that gets super interesting. You know, I believe you're a business of one. You have to take full ownership of your career. If you're an executive, that's probably money pretty well spent. A $20 a day spend as an executive to get my ideas out in front of somebody, and suddenly someone's calling me to be a C.
Employers are going to hate that. Employers are going to hate if all in their feed are job seekers. Like, hey, I'm perfect for your company because of A, B, and C. They're going to not stand for that for very long, I don't think.
But we're not far off in this world before we see it. You're going to see a story I predict, in the next 3 to 6 months where some executive got smart enough to do that and go, that's how I got my job on LinkedIn.
Just the tip.
It'll be fun to watch. LinkedIn obviously doing some good shit. It's nice that we have JT, an insider at LinkedIn, on the show.
I blame Dan. Get it, Dan. Come on, Dan.
I love Dan.
All right, guys, let's end this with a little.
What are you doing, step bro?
Who'd you rather?
Finally.
That's right, guys.
Yes.
If you haven't heard us play this game before, we talk about 2 companies that have recently gotten funding. We talk about both of them, and then each of us decides which one would we rather. Are you ready to play? I know I am. First up, we have Dex.
Oh,
makes me think of Dexter and cutting people up. Anyway, Dex has raised $5.3 million in seed funding to connect companies with high-end tech talent through a specialized AI talent agent. Operating like a traditional search firm with a 20 to 30% fee structure, the London-based company has reached a $1.8 million annual revenue run rate. That is Dex, everybody. All right, now up, that's Dex. Up next, we have Bluma. It looks like it's Blama, but it's pronounced Bluma in their explainer videos. The San Francisco startup, founded by former Pinterest and Canva executives, has raised $5 million in seed funding. Its AI platform provides personalized career coaching using context from resumes and calendars to help users navigate leadership transitions, feedback, and workplace communications. That is Dex versus Bluma. Chad, who'd you rather?
First off, Bluma has 2 O's, so I'm sorry. It's Blama, founder and CEO. It's a Blama, and that is a horrible fucking name. So once again, I'm going to go with the easy win. It's 2 a.m. in the morning. I'm going to go with the redhead who is she's solving the right problems. Dex is solving the problem companies have right now. A problem companies will deliver and they need is that matching scenario, right? And at the end of the day, they're going to have to turn this quick because there are going to be a ton of these companies out there, the actual matching side of the house. But I did jump into Dex, and I did a little research, a little fun, and I had a conversation. I had a conversation with Dex, and it was really cool. They're really focused on the engineering side of the house, which is smart at first, and then you can go ahead and open that TAM. And the product was pretty seamless. So again, I was pretty much sold on it beforehand. I jumped in, used it, and I'm gonna go home with Dex.
All right, JT, who'd you rather, Dex or Bluma?
This was tough. I'm not going to lie. Looking at it, I almost thought I'm going home solo.
Not on your birthday. Not
on my birthday.
Sometimes you got to do that though.
So the Dex thing, I was trying to understand from a financial standpoint. They're doing the traditional 20 to 30% fixed fee model, and they took on 1.8 million in annual revenue, not annual recurring revenue. Right. So there is always going to be this process of trying to get more money, and so that's interesting. But again, the efficiency is there. So they're taking 20 to 30% home on something that used to take a lot more human power, and it's pretty heavily AI driven. So interesting operational model there. As a career coach myself and seeing what can be done with AI, I think it is very interesting that Bluma, however we want to say it, is offering the coaching. Where I get concerned about that is who owns that data and who sees that data.
Yes.
Because if I have employees who are speaking to this career coach and they're being truthful, where's that going? So do you think those employers are going to be super truthful? No, they're going to go talk to their ChatGPT instead. And so to me, that gets concerning. Cool idea in theory, but we really have to think about whether or not they're going to trust that or not, because if that's going to HR, that's not a good thing. So if I have to pick a winner, I'm going with that guy.
I'm sorry. It sounded like you said Deca.
Is that what they were? Dex? Deca?
Dex
Sorry.
and Bluma.
I think
like she was going with
2 a.m. It's 2 a.m. I'm not getting their name right.
And you're not really getting their face right either. That's with the low lighting.
All right. Dex sounds like it's 10 years too late to me. It feels like when I read their site is pretty minimal. Like a lot of it is like sign up. And so there's not a lot to find out about this company other than a few pages on the website. But it has the following quote. The best roles are rarely advertised. They move through networks, referrals, and people who know people. Dex exists to fix that. I mean, that feels to me like a pitch from Intello or Seek Out 10 years ago. Or God help us when they say something like, rarely advertised jobs. Like it feels like 6-figure jobs. Like there's this hidden market of jobs. It sounds very antiquated to me. So that was a turnoff initially on Dex. On the Bluma side, I mean, who doesn't love a good Pinterest like your boy here? I'm pinning things all over the place. Who knew? So to have a Pinterest guy behind this company was interesting. But I generally hate job seeker funded businesses. The thought of a job seeker paying $25 a month for a career coach, when yes, my own LLM of choice knows me better than any sort of $25 a month service would ever know me, and that also privacy and doesn't share stuff with other people. That was a turnoff to me. The sell for me, and this was close. This was almost going home solo as well. JT and I are leaving solo on this one almost, but the fact
Joel never does. By the way.
Oh, come on now. So the fact that they have an enterprise tool that says, "Hey, employer, put all your employees, get them a career coach, make them feel special, make them feel unique, make them feel like that snowflake that all your employees think that they are." I think a lot of employers are going to gravitate to that. They're going to embrace that. They're going to have this little perk to all their employees. Hey, when you come work here, you got your own little career coach, your own little Bluma buddy is going to be with you throughout your whole career. So for that, I think that employers will eat that up. So for me, I'm going to go Bluma on this one, even though the spelling is a little bit off on that one. Bluma, I don't know.
Bluma.
All right, guys, that is another episode of Who'd You Rather, which leads us to, you guessed it, today's dad joke. Who's ready for a dad joke?
Nobody.
All right, we're taking this back to my shout out to King Charles. Guys, did you hear about the king who was only 12 inches tall? Did you hear about the king that was only 12 inches tall?
I did not, no.
He was a horrible king, but one hell of a ruler.
I can't.
Happy birthday, JT. We out.
Thank you. We out.
We out.
Thank you for listening to, what's it called? A podcast. The Chad. The Cheese. Brilliant. They talk about recruiting. They talk about technology. But most of all, they talk about nothing. Just a lot of shout-outs of people you don't even know. And yet you're listening. It's incredible. And not one word about cheese. Not one. Cheddar. Blue. Nacho. Pepper Jack. Swiss. There's so many cheeses and not one word. So weird. Anywho, be sure to subscribe today on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, or wherever you listen to your podcasts. That way you won't miss an episode. And while you're at it, visit www.chadcheese.com. Just don't expect to find any recipes for grilled cheese. It's so weird. We out!